Hello, it's Jennifer Shepard, your Integrative Manual Physical Therapist. I'm always your guinea pig. I want to test things out before I recommend them to people or guide them in that direction. I have my own health issues. I have my own vulnerable genetics. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's, and that is not part of my future. So not only do I want to prevent chronic illnesses, and I want to prevent, decreased back pain, help my body be healthy, but I want to feel good. Because when I feel good, my energy is great. My mood is more optimistic. My sleep is good. Everything is better when we are healthy and in a lower state of inflammation. Our bodies are not bound by old injuries. Our bodies are not tight and stuck. They are mobile and they're strong. It feels amazing to get there. So I'm exploring fasting. And I have friends who said, oh, I tried fasting and it didn't work. And I just want to point out that we still have to have a baseline of healthy eating. We have to know what those underlying food sensitivities are, because if we do some of these things, we try some things out and we say they didn't work, often a couple things, we perhaps didn't have the awareness of how did we feel before. And that's super important to really look in the mirror or have somebody help guide you. How do I feel? How's my sleep? How's my weight? How are my clothes fitting? Am I struggling with headaches? How's my energy? Is there anything, even subtle things like how's my skin? Am I having eczema issues? How's my gut? So it's really important to have those baselines before you dive into something new, so that you know, is this helpful? Is this not helpful? Because sometimes we try things and they're not helpful, or they're not good for your body. There's everyone out there telling you do this, do that, eat this way, exercise like that, but some things are not great for some people. So you've got to figure out what's your baseline, and then how does your body respond to an exercise or a program or a way of eating. So I'm experimenting. For me, it's been important to use monitoring and tracking. So symptom-wise, I'm pretty aware of how I feel, but often I'm going throughout my day, so I'm not always paying attention to the minute. So I've been working with, I work with my Oura Ring, which gives me some great data on heart rate variability and my heart rate and my sleep, which my sleep is already pretty good, which is amazing. I'm grateful for that. I have recently started to use a ketone meter, Keto Mojo, to help me see how my blood is, how my cells are responding, how my body my metabolism is responding to these various periods of fasting. And then recently I just picked up a continuous glucose monitor because I wanted to see, as I'm in a fasted state, what things tip me out of that fasted state. And for me, it's important to get into that fasted state and get into a state of ketosis, because it helps my body burn fat instead of glucose. And my liver, I have a history of fatty liver, which kind of made me mad. I don't know where that came from. Actually, I do, probably from a lifetime of standard American diet and eating lots of carbohydrates on a genetic system that is not designed to handle too much carbohydrate, and especially refined carbohydrates. So it's important for me to help literally kind of clean out these old glucose stores in my liver, and help my body burn fat as a fuel source, which is neuroprotective for my brain. It's awesome for my metabolism. So, but where I'm going with that is everything's an experiment. This morning I'm struggling to get my glucose back down, and I did not get a chance to grab my snack. I make nut balls from Mindy Pelz's books, which keep me in a fairly state of ketosis, but it gives my body some sustenance, so my body knows that there's some food on board, just a little bit of carbohydrate. And I went into tennis this morning, and I just had decaf coffee, splash of almond milk, hoping, is that enough? Is that just enough to give me some sustenance? Or how do I do going into a workout somewhat fasted? And what was wild was my glucose blew up. It shot up so high. I haven't seen my glucose that high even after eating caramel apples on an empty stomach. But what that told me, a good lesson for me, is my body, that wasn't fair for my body. So that wasn't a good thing for my body to go into fasted training, which I think that is a topic out there as you listen to Stacey Sims and some other people. But it's all individual. You got to figure out what works for your body. So it can be challenging, right? How do I fit all of this in? How do I do all this? How do I work out? How do I stay fasted? It can be very, very, very overwhelming. So I just encourage you to, number one, know your baseline, know your food sensitivities, and really to explore, I highly recommend Mindy Pelz's book, Fast Like a Girl. It's very, very informative, very, very helpful with helping you understand the fast